Jing Yuan, who is also known as Yuan Jing from a certain YouTuber who has failed to pull for him and made a big fuss about leaving the game, is a lightning DPS character who specializes on his talent as his main damage output, so you need to make this as high as you can so that you maximize your damage potential. And when I tested this out in my MOC 10 builds, level 8 is good enough already, but to be safe, you want to make this as max level as possible. Right, so for your light cone, this will synergize with his talent because follow-up damage increases by 48%. So there's no other better light cone than Before Dawn. And for his traces, you will definitely want to get everything that's offensive and boosting his offensive potential. Naturally, Jing Yuan will have a high crit rate build since he has like crit rate here, crit rate here, crit rate here, and another one. So you can definitely focus on crit damage more often. But you can even put your crit rate relic piece so that he crits more and gets a more consistent output. So for his traces, you definitely want to get all three of them because they are very important for damage dealing, and this is particularly important for MOC. So for 7 Providence, at the start of battle increases 15 energy. This is really good for like starting a battle in MOC. And then when you enter in a battle, you will use your technique, which will give 3 more stacks of Prana Extirpated. So normally this is where you want to use your talent and unlock this at the same time. So that is the synergy here, and as well as Battalia Crush. So if the Lightning Lord's hit per action is greater or equal to 6, then the crit damage is increased by 25. So that's why it's very important to get more than 6 stacks and always try to aim for 6 or more stacks. But 10 stacks is the highest you can get, and this increases the amount of damage. And War Marshal increases the crit rate after skill is used, so this is pretty good for Jing Yuan. So Jing Yuan's trace build is more focused on crit rate. So for your relic slots, you will definitely want Inert Salsoto above everything else because follow-up damage increases by 15%, and this is a very obvious pick why Inert Salsoto is better than Space Healing Station for Jing Yuan. And as well as getting a lightning damage boost to boost his lightning damage, just like Seele, who's using a quantum damage boost. So same thing applies to every DPS character in the game. So for your boot, this is completely situational. You can use attack for the general build, or you can use a speed build so that you can boost your energy regen rate and get more turns, which will give you more stacks of Lightning Lord. However, speed on the boots is more for advanced players, while for basic players, attack is the way to go. And for your body piece, you can use either crit rate or crit damage, but it depends. It really depends on what you want in the end of the day, but if you want more crit rate, by all means, go for crit rate. Then for your sub stats, you want crit rate, crit damage, the same usual thing. And definitely try to focus on speed sub stats also for Jing Yuan specifically. And Jing Yuan will definitely love to use his attack percentage as his sub stats also and his main stats. So for his main stats, you will use a rope with attack percentage, and that's pretty much it. So this is your general DPS build, and the 4-piece which is best for him is Band of Sizzling Thunder, which is very obvious since he uses skills so often and his attack increases by 20% for 1 turn and increases lightning damage by 10%. So all in all, you should have a build like this for the 8.8 damage type boost, and as well as stats like this. And with Before Dawn Light Cone, you will get a lot of crit damage, so that's really nice. Then for your Eidolons, you want to focus on 1, 4, 5, and 6. 2 and 3 are pretty useless, since most of his damage potential comes from his talent anyway, so 2 is pretty useless, since attack, basic attack, skill, and ultimate is increased by 20%. So talent is not involved here, so it's useless, as well as 3. So 1 is only useful if you have more than 1 enemy on the battlefield. Other than that, it's useless. 4 is basically saving yourself from that energy regen cliffhanger where you have that like 5 or 1% energy more just to activate your ultimate, and this can destroy a lot of rotations. So 4 fixes this issue. For 5, basically talent more damage, and 6, which is vulnerability on any enemy. So this is just straight up damage bonus, which is the cherry on top. But 4 is the key Eidolon if you want good rotations and more consistent rotations. However, since Jing Yuan has a energy cost of 130, which is the second highest in the game, there are few ways to make this rotation work and to eliminate the cliffhanger in the ultimate. So one way is to use a sprightly Von Rack, but this is not recommended. You can also use a speed boot, which is for advanced players. And then for characters wise, you can use an E1 or E2 Qingque Yuan, which gives increased speed with an ultimate and benediction, and as well as a more situational one, which is number 2, which regenerates 5 energy straight up. So this is one way to solve the energy issue. The other energy solving way, and not many people talk about this, is March 7th, who then applies a shield on Jing Yuan, and this increases the aggro on Jing Yuan, and when more enemies hit him, he gets more energy regen. So March and Jing Yuan is actually a good way if you don't have the Eidolon 4, which is regenerate 2 energy on every lightning lord hit. So for the basic rotation of Jing Yuan is very simple. Spam skill, ignore basic attack as much as possible. Unless you have like 10 stacks of lightning lord and you have that 5% energy to your ultimate, then you can just use a basic attack and get 1 free skill point. But most of the time you'll be spamming your skills so that you'll get 2 stacks of lightning lord, and your ultimate gains 3 stacks of lightning lord, so that's why it's very important. And each time you get a stack of lightning lord, the lightning lord speed will increase. That's the thing. So get as many stacks as lightning lord as much as possible. So that's how you play Jing Yuan. And the another thing is that if you activate an ultimate, you must activate ultimate after lightning lord strikes for the best result, since that's the most amount of speed that you can get from Jing Yuan. So the most optimal rotation is after the stacks of lightning lord has been depleted, then you will use your saved up ultimate just after he uses the lightning lord, and that way that's the most optimal way to boost the speed of the lightning lord and get more hits in. But the main problem with this is that you might have energy issues, like for example, the skill is used very often, and therefore if you use a skill on when his ultimate is fully charged, you will see that it is less efficient because he doesn't charge his ultimate on a full ultimate bar, full energy bar. So this is why Jing Yuan can be somewhat tricky to play. But then in a situation, certain situations where Lightning Lord is like 5 stacks and Lightning Lord is about to strike, then it's actually better to use ultimate. So you get the extra stacks and the extra crit damage from here. So you make sure that your Lightning Lord is above 6 or equal to 6 most of the time. And this is the most optimal way to play Jing Yuan. Team building wise, it really depends on what kind of enemies you're seeing. So for example, MOC 10, we are using Jing Yuan, Qingque, Natasha, Fire MC. So Fire MC in this case will get imaginary locked from the Aurumatons, and the reason why Fire MC is good for this is because you don't want Jing Yuan to get stun locked. If he gets stun locked, his lightning lord will not activate. He will move up the turn in the team rotation slot, yes, but the thing is it won't activate. So that's why Fire MC here is good. Okay, for example, for like other teams here who don't have an Aurumaton, or like for example MOC 08, or for example MOC 07, where the electric weakness here, you can use Jing Yuan, March, Ting Yun, and Natasha. This is actually a very good team because March will provide aggro to Jing Yuan so that Jing Yuan has more energy recharge from more hits. So this is one of the other teams I've been using. You can also use a Bronya, Ting Yun, Luocha here. However, do note that Ting Yun is much more preferred for Jing Yuan due to the nature of how Lightning Lord works. Bronya is not able to support and provide the buff that Lightning Lord can use, but Ting Yun can provide the buffs that the Lightning Lord can use. That's why it's a really weird playstyle. But you're using Bronya only to accelerate the amount of turns for Jing Yuan and to force a turn, but this can be very skill point expensive since you have Ting Yun and Bronya together and with Jing Yuan. So these are very skill hungry teammates actually. Quite skill hungry. So yeah, you get the point. So generally the good team will be this generally. Or if your Ting Yun is used in a Clara main DPS slot, that's totally fine. You can use Bronya here, but you don't get the buffs that Ting Yun can easily provide. So that is basically the Jing Yuan builds that I've been using. Cheers!